From an old politics of left versus right, Democrats versus Republicans, it's shifting away from that world into a world of the people versus the political class, or Americans versus post-Americans. Doug he's, again, the very embodiment, the personification of this new politics. He is a politician who represents the people. Better, he's not even a politician. He's someone who embodies the values, interests, and concerns of the people that have grown increasingly alienated from the values, interests, and concerns of the permanent political class. And so, in many respects, he's not a professional politician who goes into politics because of a business model and then becomes part of a permanent political class that governs according to their own interests and concerns. He really is embodying the values, interests, and concerns, and then he brings those values into his governance in Harrisburg.
I'm retired from the United States Army after a great 3.5-decade career, and I also served in President Trump's cabinet, essentially as his national security advisor, as his first national security advisor. Doug is the type of person, the type of leader that this country needs right now. For anybody who thinks that our nation is just in a sort of political things as usual, or these are just normal times. These are not normal times. This is a historic period for the United States of America. Doug Mastriano is a historic figure because Doug has decided to step into the fray and run for governor of Pennsylvania, and he's exactly the type of leader that we need. We don't need the politicians or the political class, we need leaders. This keystone state of Pennsylvania is going to be the keystone that could hold the rest of the country together. I endorse Doug Mastriano to be the next governor of the state of Pennsylvania.
Down in March of 2020, the governor of this state went AWOL. Doug Mastriano showed up to work every single day fighting for the small businesses of Pennsylvania, for the elderly, for our children to get back into school, to take off the masks, for moms just like me. He was there, and he was there daily fighting for the people he was elected to represent. Doug Mastriano is mission-focused. He's not me-focused. We don't have enough of that. He's someone I know Pennsylvania needs.
I don't think there's enough honesty. I think that Doug is inherently an honest man. And I think when you're worried about Bill of Rights, civil liberties, which certainly have been things that have been trampled upon over the last 2 years in particular, he takes a stand. I endorse Doug Mastriano.
My name is Val Fennell. I'm a retired Air Force Colonel. I'm originally from McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania, which is outside of Pittsburgh. I retired in 2016, moved back to Pittsburgh. Currently, I serve as the Pennsylvania Director for Gun Owners of America, and I live in York. Well, the Gun Owners of America has been working with Senator Mastriano for 2 years on pro-gun legislation in the Pennsylvania legislature. He's one of the champions of the Second Amendment and our Article 1, Section 21 rights in the Pennsylvania Constitution. I have a utmost confidence in Doug Mastriano, and I would just ask that all Pennsylvanians, all gun owners in Pennsylvania, other Second Amendment organizations in Pennsylvania and nationally, get behind Senator Mastriano now before the primary so that he wins on May 17th. Gun Owners of America endorses Doug Mastriano for governor of Pennsylvania.
Now it's decisive leadership above all else, right? Decisive leadership. It doesn't mean that we're going to agree on every single thing. I mean, we're humans and we're Americans and we pride ourselves on our individuality and coming to a particular decision based on our lived experience or our journey of getting there. What I look is for someone who is decisive, someone who is willing to lead, even if the crowd is going in the opposite direction. I endorse Senator Doug Mastriano for the next governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Not just concerned for me, but for my wife. When I do retire, my wife, we lose health insurance with my wife, so we're gonna have to try to pick that up. Health costs here in Pennsylvania are out of control, totally out of control. Our health insurance has gone from, we had good health insurance at work to a plan that's not really good at all. I'm not into government-controlled health care. Just make it affordable. That's all just affordable health care. especially affordable for the senior citizens. I'll be there soon. 2 years left to retirement, and I'm wondering how is my health care going to work. It's a very stressful situation. Doug Mastriano is like an IV of hope. He gives us hope here in Pennsylvania so we can afford to live. That's what we need. Someone who can help us to afford to live. I support Doug Mastriano.
Did for us starting in March of 2020 when all the lockdowns started. He was the voice of reason, speaking out against what was going on and stood with the people. He helped people who weren't even in his Senate district, regardless of what their needs were, and that shows me a man who has a heart for the people. And what we have lost in our elected representatives at this point is touch with the people. Doug is one of those people who is very connected with the people, and I feel that he would be our voice in that elected position. I endorse Doug Mastriano for governor.